なんかますかね。Good, awesome.
She was saying when you watch this, I've got a big screen up so we can watch the screen. She doesn't have a cable for it. So, yeah, you can see that, can't you?
for donkey or for the monk to sit there. You won't be able to see this though, this would be ideal.
Do you want me to move?
Or if you don't like to sit here instead, and then donkey can sit there.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether it's okay yet to start. Yeah, we start anyway. Right. Good morning, everyone. Okay. Greeting in Thai, we say สวัสดีค่ะ Okay, just to introduce you to a bit of Thai culture. Welcome to Wat Mahathat, King's Bromley. Okay. So today is the first activity really for the temple, you know, because of the situation that we are having now. So the temple haven't really got much, you know, many activity this year, including last year. I got to cancel lots of my class. So Ajahn Lau agreed for me to do this one because, you know, after being absent for a long time, and many people inquire about the course. Okay, so I'm going to do my very best today. You know, even with a bit of, I can't think of this word. No, stumble, it's not stumble. A bit of disruption because I forgot the leads to connect with the television. Okay, but anyway, I'm going to do my best, you know, with my speech, and then hopefully you can see this, you know, from the distance. The reason that you are all here, there is no doubt that you are all searching for something, you know, spiritually, right? And as you know, that Buddhism is exactly that nature that you would like to know about. So before we start anything, I'd like you to understand that Buddhism have two aspects to it: the exterior and the core teaching. Okay, so it's very much like the Russian doll. There are so many layers. From the exterior is what you see in front of you, all the glitter, the temple, the yellow robe, the ritual, the ceremony, the chanting. All this, I like you to know that it is the exterior. It's just like the bark of the trees, okay, that cover or protect the essence of Buddhism. So it's very important that you know that, okay? And it's go all the way, you know, and then you got the moral precept, and then you got the meditation, and then it go all the way to the core teaching of the Buddha, which you might have heard the term Nirvana, right? Nirvana, okay? So today I'm going to try to make all this connection for you because you are hopefully you are all beginners, right? Apart from Christine, who have been with me from day one, let's say from day one. And she still keep on coming back to listen to this broken record. I admire her patience. Okay, so all the way to the core teaching of Buddhism. So this is it, the two sides of Buddhism. But today, it is my duty to come here to tell you about, you know, the exterior. This is the duty of the Buddhist officer, like that you call monks, okay? Like Ajahn Lau is very good, you know, he is very renowned for chanting. He's teaching chanting all over the world now through Zoom, Yesterday I came, it is the chanting, which is about creating this sound vibration that can help you to tune in, to help you to have access to nirvana in the end. But maybe people don't know and think that this is part of the ritual, okay? Which is, as I say, the exterior is the part that protect the essence of Buddhism. So anyway, the reason that I'm here, I want to be here to deliver the core teaching of the Buddha. Okay, so this is the part that I have been focused on for a long time. Okay, and sorry that I don't have any uniform because I'm just a housewife. Okay, a mother and a nanny who happen to have a bit of experience because I started my meditation journey, my spiritual journey, since I was in my student year at 19 years old, okay? And then all the way through, I'm 68 now, and so it's, made me qualified to share my experience with you, let's say it that way, okay? Even without the uniform, because Thailand is a very male-dominant country, they only listen to men with uniform. So I got to find my own way quite a lot before I can get to this point, okay? So, which can tell one thing, that I know what I'm talking about. Right, so let's get to the point. What is the essence of Buddhism? The core teaching of Buddhism is talking about self-empowerment, okay? Talking about put the destiny of your life in your own hands, not in the hand of the doctor, of your parents, of your boss, of your spouse, of your children who tell you to do this, or of the politician, the government. Like the Buddha always said that we are our own refuge, right? But this is not easy, is it? To be your own refuge. Like at the moment, they tell you to go have this injection. Okay, we go have injection. Without. So this is about the lack of self-empowerment. Put the destiny of life in your own hand. Regain your mental and spiritual freedom. So my teaching, I have all these tools, these props to help you to understand. So this is the first prop that I'm going to show you. Very humble bottle of water. Simon, did I use this at that time? I have. So. You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
My very humble prop, bottle of water, okay? But this is excellent to represent your life form. So you got the body, handsome, beautiful, okay? This is the part that you can see yourself in the mirror. But at the same time, you also got what you call body, mind, and spirit, right? Mind is your thoughts and feelings. Thoughts, memories, and feelings, or just thought and feelings, okay, that you call mind. And then you got your spirit. Your soul, your spirit, is the same terminology as your consciousness, okay? So let's know that it's the same thing. So your body, mind, and spirit, or body, mind, and consciousness, okay? You see me?
Yeah,
Rachel, you see me,
yeah.
all right, okay? Right. So, you only, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can only see your, handsome body, beautiful body, that's all. But you cannot see your mind consciousness. Can you? I don't think you can. Which make it so difficult to understand what's going on. Right? Okay? So, the core teaching of Buddhism is to help you to regain your mental and spiritual freedom, which means that we don't have the freedom. our mind, consciousness, in the state of boom, 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 is the representation of stress, worry, anxiety, okay, restlessness. David, help me.
Fear,
Panic, you know, insecurity, lack of confidence, the list goes on. Okay? So I would just round it up and call it boom, 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 which I'm sure that you all know what it means. Confusion, you know, all these things. Okay? So I'd like you to know that if you understand, if you follow me through today, I would help you from the state of boom, boom, boom to the state that you will be in control of your mind consciousness. Okay? Which is the part that you cannot see in the mirror. That's why it's so difficult to deliver this kind of knowledge. And that's why I need all this prop to help you to understand. Okay? Right. And to understand how our mind consciousness works, so this is the part that I'm going to tell you today, if time permits. My course normally takes about 2 days, 3 days, if I can, okay? And then, learning a mental skill to defeat your unwanted and painful thoughts. See, right to the point, okay? So all this boom, boom, boom is all associated with the thoughts and painful feelings that you just want them to go away. Please, someone, take them away. Take them away. I don't want them. I don't want them. But can you do that? Can anyone just pluck all those painful thoughts and feelings for you? Please come in. Please come in. Okay? No one can. No one can. Please come in. Okay. Yeah. We got a seat there. Right, so what's your name?
Jade McIntosh.
Gemma. Okay, yeah, that's lovely. Okay, so this is the very problem, I think, of humankind, which the Buddha have tackled for us 2.5 millennia ago, but we can't understand. Up until now. There are some people who understand, obviously, okay? And one of the reasons is because we only stumble on the exterior. Chanting, you travel across the world, you know, to find all this and that. But there's no guarantee that you would understand how your mind consciousness works. Okay, so with the very short time that we have together today, I will do my very best, okay, to deliver this very crucial knowledge for you. And when you go home, you're going to be well equipped, okay, with this empowerment tool, okay, the self-empowering tool that you can just plug it out and use it for yourself. And that is meditation. That is meditation. Okay, but before we go into that, okay, so you're clear that this is my role that I'm going to deliver for you today, the core essence of Buddhism. Okay? Yeah. Which Buddhism, in fact, you know, the Buddha tried to help us to pose this very important question about life. Who are we? Who am I? Why I'm here? Not at this temple. Why I'm here on earth? Who sent me here? And now that I'm here, what do I supposed to do? All these questions, in fact, is a very important fundamental question that we don't seem to have time to tackle, okay? Because our society, you know, just live into this very ready-made formula. Okay, now that you're here, don't question too much. Just go out, you know, get your education, get a job, you know, earn your money, look after yourself, look after your family, make a few kids, and then goes on. Then you die, and then you take your spiritual ignorance with you. And according to Buddhism, once you take your spiritual ignorance with you, you come back. You come back with your spiritual ignorance, okay? And then the life goes on like this, that we call reincarnation, until you are lucky enough, fortunate enough to stumble onto a teacher who can guide you to leave this prison of life. The prison of life that they call reincarnation, rebirth, the cycle of rebirth. Okay, so according to the Buddha, this is not the first time that you're sitting here on this planet. You have been reincarnated, but once you come back, your memory have been wiped away, all clean, and start all over again. Okay? And then you can't remember anything. Okay? So in the end, it's all come down to your to your luck, really. Okay? So that's it. So once you come back, you know, with your spiritual ignorance, and then you tune into, you're brought up in a family that keep on telling you that do well at school and then get a job, have a family, and then goes on like that. You know, so this is turned into the world that we are living right now. Okay, until it starts to tumble because the imbalance is just too much. Okay, that's why all these things all happen. Okay, for some reason. I think for a good reason, just to wake you up and question what life is all about. Anyway, when you cannot answer the question about why you are here, what is the real purpose of life, you will be taken over by confusion. Confusion in not knowing the answer to those powerful fundamental questions. We are submerged in confusion and mental pain. Mental pain. We spend so much time focused on our life, you know, making sure that we have the best for ourselves, for our family. But in the end, what happened? Life still doesn't work out. You have broken down relationship, you have unsatisfactory job, addiction, you cannot deal with your neighbors from hell, if you have one, okay? And then you don't know how to cope with your ill health. Okay, you must have to.
We're neighbours.
Okay, anyway, the list goes on, right? The list goes on. All this confusion, especially now, you know, with the pandemic, with the vaccine, that are immense, you know, what's it? So I'd like you to look at this picture. Can you see? You are actually sitting in your comfortable chair. I just want you to picture yourself and then ask yourself whether it is true or not. Okay? Whether it is true or not. You are sitting so comfortably, you know, in your favorite armchair. In your favorite armchair. Okay? But your mind, it means your thoughts and feelings, is very much like a runaway train that you are unable to stop. Your thought is just shooting one after another like a runaway train. That you even tell yourself that please stop, if I can't stop, I'm going to go insane, I'm going to go mad, please stop. But no one can stop for you. Apart from the right knowledge. Okay? No one can stop for you apart from the right kind of knowledge and wisdom. Which is something that I want to deliver for you today. Okay? Should I tell mom and dad I'm gay? Oh, what you need for it? What if, just what if, cancer come back? What if I lose my job? What if COVID hit me? What if COVID... The list goes on, and just what if alone can drive you up the wall, can drive you insane, right? So this is it. Comfortably in your favorite armchair, but your mind is like a runaway train that you can't stop. And this is scary. This is scary. And this is the part that makes the world as messy like today. Okay? Because we just don't know where to turn to. The Buddha compared like this. The spiritual ignorance people equate to the number of the hair on a cow. The hair on a cow, 1 or 2 or millions. The wise people, the number of wise people is equate to the horn on a cow. How many horn?
2.
Okay. And all this question about life is you need to find a wise person to help you, okay, to answer your question. But the majority of the people in the world is equate to the hair on the cow. Okay, so let's have a look of some example of the inconvenient truth that we are facing on a daily basis because we cannot answer the most important fundamental question of life. Okay? This is the symptom, anger. Anger is very much like water in the kettle boiling. But when kettle boiling, at least you've got this, what you call spout, right? The steam for it to let out. The way that anger, you know, the steam that for the anger to let out is to react. Is to react in that extreme moment. And people who are in, you know, in deep anger, they cannot understand reason. They cannot understand reason, okay? They cannot work it out that I don't supposed to say this. I don't supposed to do this. What they know is that whatever I say, whatever I do is justified because you make me angry. So therefore, it is right for me to say whatever I want to say, to do whatever I want to do, including killing someone. Because at that extreme moment, they cannot understand reason. They thought it is justified if I kill you because you make it so angry. You see, that is all they know. But this kind of emotion, extreme emotion, it won't be like this forever. It lasts only about a few minutes. But that few minutes, the harm already done. And you cannot turn the clock back. And you've got to live with that repercussion for the rest of your life, including go to jail. Okay? And this is what due to humanity. That we just don't know what to do. You know, you got all this course about anger management. If the anger management course really work, I don't think we have what we have in the world today. No. And you pay lots of money for it. In fact, the Buddha already gave us the tool. Okay? So this is what anger is all about. Very destructive, very harmful. Okay? So if you not need to trash out with someone, your spouse, just go behind the scene. Not in front of your children. Because the children, this is the kind of mental scar that will last for a long time. It will affect the rest of their life. Okay? So this is one example. Okay? And this one, with this picture, I want to talk about non-judgmental. About non-judgmental. We have been taught, you know, from so many guru, many teachers, many experts, you know, don't be judgmental, you know, give everyone a chance. In practice, is that easy to do? It is easier said than done, isn't it? Because you judge people so quickly in your head, even though you don't say anything. But we all know that we judge people from inside. Okay, so quickly as well. So quickly. Okay, you see someone like this, you know, you're a bad guy, that kind of thing. But I'd like you to understand that because the bottom line is that no one likes to put up with the mental pain. They all want solution, they all want a way out. But they don't know where to go. They don't know whom to talk to. Okay? So a bottle like this is the closest thing that society can offer them. Especially you live in England, just pop every corner of the road. That is the solution. They say, oh, go come a few drink, and then you forget about it. Which is true, you forget about it for a short while. Then when you go back on, boom again. And then the sort of cycle goes on until you become an addict. Before you know anything, you become an addict. And this is what the society offers. Okay? So, next time when you see people like that, have a bit of compassion. Okay? If you see it this way. Because you know how much pain, you know, that when you go through, that how unpleasant it is, how painful it is, and no one wants to keep it. So any kind of solution that are available in the society, they grab it. So this is a way to look at people compassionately, okay, without any judgment, okay? And the solution now is suicide, you know, because it comes down to this bottom line again, that we all have mental pain. You know, we all got this this painful thoughts and painful emotion, these feelings that we just cannot get rid of, and we just don't know how to run away. So people seem to choose killing themselves as the ultimate solution, which they kill the wrong person. So I'm going to introduce to you, okay, there are two self in this body, in this life form. We got a physical self. This physical self is very much like a shell, a vessel, okay, which contains your true self. Your true self is your consciousness, your soul, your spirit. That is your true self, but you cannot see. But because this is the third dimension, okay, this is the 3D world. And this 3D world, your real self, your soul, your spirit cannot live in this 3D world alone. It needs to have a containment, a vessel, a house to accommodate your real self. Can you see that? To make a complete life form. This is a complete life form. You need to have a physical self and a real self, your soul, your spirit, or your consciousness, okay? To make a complete life form. But the pain is come with your thoughts and feelings, which from now on, okay, I will use the analogy as Jerry. Tom and Jerry. You heard about Tom and Jerry? You know about Tom and... Of course you know. Unless you're the old lady in the Black Forest in Germany. I went to teach there. I talk about Tom and Jerry. Bewildered. Tom and Jerry. I said, got to ask your little kinder about Tom and Jerry. So, okay, just to help to make your life easier, all your problems come with your thoughts and feelings. All your problems. It doesn't matter what, okay? Round them up now into one word, Jerry. Okay? And this is your true self, your real self, your soul, your spirit, your consciousness. To me, I would call your mental self. So you got the physical self that you can see in the mirror, and then you got your real self, your mental self in there, which you cannot see in the mirror. Okay? And this Jerry, your problem, the carrier of all your problem, okay, hit your mental self, chop you up into pieces, and the pain is in here, is all in the energetic form that you cannot see. So no one can understand your pain, no one apart from yourself, apart from you. No matter how much you want to explain, to describe, they cannot be with you in that emotion because it's all yours. It's very intimate within you. Okay? But because this is something that you cannot see, so when people run out of way to go, they thought that, okay, if I kill myself, if I kill this body, I will finish all my problem. But you're wrong. See all my problem? Old man. So this is your mental self. Your mental self within that you cannot see in the mirror. And this is Jerry. So when Jerry take you over like this, can you see that? You're just behind the dark cloud. No way out. And then you go up to kill this part. So this part is made up of from earth, water, wind, and fire. Okay, dust to dust, wind to wind, water to water, whatever, air to air. And then it will remain in this plane. But the one that move on a whole package as Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry. They move on to the next dimension on the other side of the veil as a whole package. And this one, Jerry, okay, will create another realm of reality for you afterwards. You better understand this. And don't think that to top yourself is the only answer. This thing is the same way. If you want to build this thing, create the garden, whatever that you want to build, you need to have a thoughts first, right? You think first. You create from your thought first, and then from this thought you materialize into reality, into something that is solid, into brick and mortar, right? Okay, and this is the same construction after you pass on from this 3D to the next dimension, wherever you're going. So if you're going to pass over with all the pain, with all the vengeance, with all the disappointment, with all the sorrow, with all the whatever that you want to die, kill yourself for, this thing, it has the mental magnetic field or the super glue, okay? The super glue that cannot take away. So this one, it will carry on to create another reality on the other side of the realm. So don't think that you're going to finish everything just because you top yourself. So whatever problem that you have, the Buddha tried to help us to execute a problem from here, from this realm, before you pass on. This is very important that you understand. Okay? And the rate of suicide is just so scary now. In Thailand, because the financial collapse, really. Okay, and people, just don't know where to turn to because they don't have money anymore. So they turn to, kill themselves a lot. A lot. It could be more than those who die from COVID, I think. Okay? See something like this, when you have boom, 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 of course. Okay? You can't even get yourself, through. And then not to mention you have a baby as well. This one, I like to talk in this way. Can I sit down? Yes. We like to complain. We like to moan. Even the weather, they don't do anything to us to keep on moaning about the weather. We like to complain about our life, we don't have this, don't have that, the weather is bad, and then we go on a holiday abroad, this and that. We can always find something to moan about. And one thing we forget is to appreciate what we have in front of us. Not until you're on your deathbed, not necessarily in your deathbed, or you're very ill, you know, only then would you realize that, oh my God, how lucky, you will be able to see that how lucky I am to have my eyes, that I'm not blind, that I can open eyes in the morning, I can see my loved one, you know, my mom and dad, my spouse, my children, I can see the trees, the sky, I can sniff the rose, and we don't realize how important it is, how lucky we are to have the good eyes. Not until you're blind. When you're blind, the whole thing, the whole universe collapses. So this one thing. Not until you're in that situation before you realize that how lucky we are that we can breathe by ourselves. That we can breathe by ourselves. Oh, you know, get the oxygen in my full lung and feel absolutely great in the fresh air. Not until then you can struggle to get each breath, you know, so painful. And then, you see that? Not until then would you realize that I'm so lucky that I can just get up in the middle of the night and walk to the toilet to do my private business all by myself with dignity. Without anyone come to change the nappy for me, take me to the loo to do all this supposed to be private business, but in full-blown view. We never think like that. We always find something to moan about, to complain about. So I'd like you to swap your life a bit over, okay? And really appreciate, have gratitude toward everything in front of you. And you've got to really know that you are living in England. I know it's not heaven, but it is heaven compared to Thailand. It is. You know, when I come back after 11 months in Thailand, mind you, I got a center, it's a very nice center that I think myself, you know, I'm living my dream right now. Okay, but after 11 months in Thailand and come back to Birmingham, the next morning I have my routine. My routine every day is to get up early, 40 to 50 minutes of yoga, out in the garden for another 20 minutes of Tai Chi, and then another hour of sitting down meditation. That is my daily routine, every day. Which I must admit that I miss, although at the center I do my yoga and my meditation in the ground, you know, yoga, Tai Chi, okay, in the open air. I got up at 5, out there 5:30, and it's just magical. But it's just the atmosphere is just so different because this is a colder country, and having been living in England for 41 years, you know, make a home in Birmingham, it does have, you know, this is my home. It doesn't matter is England or Thailand or China, home is home, and no place like home. No place like home. Okay, because you've got all your usual things that you miss, and I must admit that I miss my garden, I miss my sofa. My husband said, am I on your list? The item that you missed, of course, he's on my list, but maybe in the middle. Okay. What I miss is my garden. My garden, you know, in that first morning I went out, I said, oh, thank you, I'm back. And I treat all my trees as a living being. As a living being. I mean, hello, how are you? Oh this thing and I touch. I said, oh, thank you for your strength, especially all these big trees, you know. I would stroke the trunk, and I would kiss, I would just, you know, get my cheek to all this conifer, and oh, I miss you. And I sniff everything, all my roses. I treat them as a living being, my friends, my relative, you know, my family that have been away for a long time. I miss you. And I just keep on saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you up there, thank you God, thank you the Procreator, thank you everything. I'm back home now. It's just so much joy, you see, in every moment. And this is the result of understanding the core teaching of the Buddha, Nibbana. Because I know about Nibbana. I live within Nibbana. Okay? And this will transform your character into something that you can enjoy every moment of your life, every breath, everything. So when I first came to England and I heard this phrase that people keep on saying, oh, what a miserable day. Look, it's rain again. What a miserable day. You know, I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand why they keep on saying miserable day. Because to me, even the rain is joyful. It's fresh, it's lovely. I cannot see anything miserable about it at all. So it took me quite a number of years before I could really understand the British way of life. You know, that complain about the weather, all this, because, I mean, but sometimes I got to play the game along just to make my life, you know, exterior a bit easier so that I can be one of them, one of you, you know. But in here, it's different. Has always been different. I'm living in my own world for a long time. Okay. But this is something that I like you to begin to appreciate and have gratitude about everything that you have in front of you. Despite everything that happened in this world is amazing. The nature, the everything, especially you live in England, in Europe, it's green everywhere, you know, compared to other countries that got so much dust and dirt and sand. Enjoy. Okay, so I just try to insert all this before we go into the, So this one I don't have to talk about it much. Okay, so I mean the problems of life goes on no matter what stage in your life, really. The problem never ends. Okay, the young people see, you know, grandma and grandpa, nanny and granddad, and thinking that, oh, nanny and granddad, you don't have to work, you're retired now, your life might be so wonderful, you don't have to get up, you know, and get changed and then go to work, all these things. Not until they become grandma and granddad, right? We have our problems. We have our problems. Okay? Especially come to the health. Yeah. This is it. This one, I like to raise this. We are living in the West. Even though you think that you're poor, you have no idea what poverty is in the poor country. Okay? So, to a lot of people, they have everything material-wise. You got a house, you got everything that you could wish for. You know, you have good job, good family, good salary, good, everything is good. But for someone, they will always know that something is missing within. It's still a massive hole that you cannot seem to fill it in. You know, and you cannot even ask the right question. Because the entire society, they have all these ready-made formula for you. you know, do well at work, earn as much as money as you can, all these things, and that is called successful. And even though you're already what they call successful, but what happened to me? Why I'm still feel so empty in here? And this happened to a lot of people in the, African country. You got all this wealth, but you cannot find true happiness because of this massive void that you cannot feel, because you just don't know what you don't know. If you know what you don't know, now it's easy. Google, tell me this and that. But when you don't know what you don't know, oh gosh, it's really dark. It's just like you are blind. You put on the dark shade on, you sit in the room, shut the door, turn off the light, draw the curtain. It's just dark after dark after dark that you've got to peel and peel and peel. So this part, if the knower, the wise person, don't open their mouth like the Buddha and all the, ascended master, if they open their mouth, we don't stand a chance. Because we just don't know what kind of question to ask to get that answer that we want. And this is the biggest problem in humanity. And then you just don't know what happened to you. And then when it's become chronic, they label you depression. You go to doctor, they got only 3 minutes for you. They got to feel that they do something for you. Okay, prescription, take the pill. And this cycle just goes on. Okay? So, we're going to make a drastic change. Okay, if you follow me today. And then another fact of life is that there is no rule saying that old people got to die before the young ones. There is no rule like that, telling you. Okay, anyone can go first. And if the passing away jumping the queue, we all know that the pain, how excruciating that is. You will never forget if the death is jumping the queue. And also the fear of death is another main feature that taken over humanity. We are so afraid of death. Which, how I view death? I kind of look forward it in a way, not have to, talk myself, but it's something that I can travel. This is another realm of knowledge that I have delivered to my Thai students now. Okay, delivered to my Thai student, and it's quite extensive, but I won't cover it today. But just for you to know that I have no fear of death whatsoever. In the contrary, I quite look forward to, but it doesn't mean that I got to, because I know what life is all about. You see, I know what life is all about. I know about death. I mean, this passing away of this physical body is not a real death. It's not a real death. This is the finish of this exterior of this fake shell. That's all. But your real self is eternal and immortal. It's another subject. It's eternal, immortal. You will never die. But you need to have that crucial wisdom to see you through. Okay? So once you know this, once you know about this, you will have no fear of death whatsoever. And then you just enjoy life while you are still here. Okay? So you live in peace and then you die in peace. Lovely. Okay? Right. So this is the last picture that I'm going to show you. It's about the kind of lost, spiritual loss really, very profound kind of lost that doesn't happen physically. I mean, physically, you cannot get lost anymore because, they track you all the time, wherever you are, right? They track you, you cannot get lost. But spiritually, mentally, we are lost. In the sense that you feel so alone sometimes. You feel so alone, even though you are surrounded with your beloved in your family, this and that. But you feel so isolated and alone in the sense that you have something, some pressing issue, subject that you really want to talk about, such as, did we ever think about what is the real meaning of life? What is the purpose of life, of being here, struggle and then try to make ends meet and then we die? Did we ever question, this kind of issue that have some in-depth, but once you speak out, everyone look at you and say that, oh, don't be too serious. Don't be too serious. You think too much. We're here now. Come on, just go enjoy our life. Let's go to the pub. I know that restaurant. Oh, it's so good. They do this really nice curry. Come on, let's go. Go on holiday? Have you been to here and there? And then you forget about it. And then we just follow this kind of ready-made formula, okay, that we call culture, that we call way of life, okay? And then when you come home, boom, 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 boom. It doesn't go away, does it? This is the profound kind of loss, which can make you feel so isolated. You've got no one to turn to, even the one that you share the bed with. Sometimes you think, oh gosh, he's coming home now. What are we going to talk about? What are we going to tell him? You've got to try to rehearse what to talk to your husband or to your wife. Oh my God. What kind of relationship is that? But this is our reality, right? This is our reality. We got to rehearse. So we just put up with each other for convenience sake. You see, we are such a mess, isn't it? Not just us. This is about humanity. We are in such a mess. I'm sure Holland is more or less the same, right? No exemption. It's just different degree. Right. So you're sitting in your comfortable chair, but your mind is boom, boom, boom like that, right? So the next thing I want to ask you, any disagreement, please kindly raise your hand. If none of you, none of those ever happened to you, it means that none of this ever happened to you. I would like to see your face. I will put you on the pedestal and worship you. Honestly. Is there anyone would like to raise your hand and say that, no, I'm okay. I'm really okay. No. Okay. I don't need to know your problems. I don't need to. Okay. I just know that we all have Jerry, including me. Okay. If you have a husband, 3 children, and 1 grandson, you have Jerry. I have Jerry. Some of you may think inside in your head, surely life must have some positive thing, happy moments, right? Yes, of course. Gosh, if we don't have any happy moment, we all end up in mental hospital. Will never be enough as well. Happy moment doesn't bring us to here. Happy moment doesn't, kick a backside to question, right? But bitter moment, painful moment does. Okay, so at least thank them. Thank all this dark Jerry that make you question that life should have something more than this. Okay, so we leave the pink Jerry away. Okay, this all about dark Jerry. So anyway, the reason that you don't raise your hands, okay, because everything that I deliver to you is what the Buddha called the first noble truth. How many noble truths that we have? 4. Noble truth means universal truth. It doesn't matter who you are, what religion you belong to, what political party you belong to. It doesn't matter. You believe in the COVID, the vaccine or not believe. It doesn't matter. Okay? we all have mental suffering all the same. And this is the very universal truth of suffering that the Buddha talked about on the night of his enlightenment. So you can see that I'm talking about something universal now. This is not just about Buddhism, okay? It just happened that the Buddha delivered this message to humanity, okay? So this is the reason why you don't raise your hand, I'm okay. Because if you're okay, I'm going to ask you to go enjoy the garden. You don't need here, okay? You don't need to sit here. Well, it's not quite 8 minutes, but it still saves you a lot of time to read. Do you see? In the library, in Christianity, you got only one book that you call the Bible, okay? But in Buddhism, you got 45 volumes of this book, okay? And this 45 volume contain the Four Noble Truths. And the first noble truth of suffering, it could be about eight of these big book. So you see, I save your time, you know, in reading all those 10 volumes of the first noble truth. Even though you read the first, all those volumes of the first noble truth, in the end, it's all come down to your acceptance that you have a problem. It's just like we go to the Alcohol Anonymous, stand up. I'm Super One Green, I'm an addict, I'm an alcoholic, please help me. Likewise, you got to admit that you have mental pain. If you don't accept you have mental pain, mental suffering, no one can help you, even the Buddha. So this is my approach, okay? I want you really to accept this fundamental problem that affects humanity right now. So the rest of this, you will listen to all this message so carefully, attentively, so that you can really change your life, okay? Turn your life, you know, really over. Make a really drastic change. Okay, well done, well done. Okay, right. So we're sending out the SOS message, admit we good. Okay, now, once we move to this better news, I'm going to let you out, okay? To toilet. And make a drink if you like. So, that is all the really, you know, somber news, isn't it? But to help you to accept that we all have problems all the same. The good news is that, the good news now. The good news happened on the night of the enlightenment of the Buddha. Okay? Before the enlightenment of the Buddha, he was in this mess all the same as us. He was, if not more, because, you know, he left the palace on the day that his wife gave birth to his firstborn. And that prince, the young prince, classed as a very good man. Responsible man who loved his wife and kid so much that he left them. Why? Because he knew that if he stick with them, he will have to carry on with all this pain. So, that is his soul plan. His soul plan came this way, that I got to find a solution for humanity to end all this suffering. Okay? So the young prince, at the age of 28, left the palace on that night. He didn't even go to touch his wife and touch the newborn baby, because he know that he's going to stick with that, you know, strong emotion that he cannot let go. So straight away he called his private secretary. Come on, Channa, get the horse. We got to leave the palace now. We got to leave it tonight. we cannot wait any longer, otherwise, he will stick with this family. So that is the pain, and then after that, it went for the self-mortification, trying to search for this ultimate enlightenment. That is another 6 years. Are you cold? Would you like a blanket? Yeah, I got this. Yeah.
Thank you.
You want to just shut that window.
Yeah.
Just shut that window so that the wind won't come in. Because we got other window.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. In fact, we got blanket. When the break, I get a blanket for you. Okay. So this is the very good news is that after his searching, for a good 6 years on the brink of death. On the brink of death, he, because of his soul plan, because of his perfection that it has been accumulated for eon, let him. Oh, go. Thank you, girls. I know you want to help sweep here, but I got to ask you to because we are. Hello, Ava. I'm going to shut the door now. Right. Yeah, because of his perfection, his wholesome deed, really, that he accumulated, life after life after life for a long, long time, which led to this very last life that allowed him to have this breakthrough, which we call the ultimate enlightenment. So basically, what happened is that on that night of enlightenment, under the Bodhi tree in India, in Gaya, Bodhi Gaya. Have you been to Bodhi Gaya? No? No? Anyone? Yeah, you might be. Okay. Oh, that is, the energy is just wonderful. Very powerful. Okay, I spent a night there. In by the tree. People just walk around, meditation, it's just really interesting experience. Anyway, under that Bodhi tree, when he sat down on that day, on that night, he had told himself that if he could not, reach that enlightenment, he will never get up. He would die. He would rather die there. But anyway, he got it. So, before the enlightenment, the Buddha knew well about this mental pain. And after that perfection, that wholesome deed that he accumulated, for a long time, for eon, led him to that moment, when he found this state of mind. The state of mind that is totally in the opposite from the boom, boom, boom. Totally from the opposite from the boom, boom, boom. Once he knows this mind, he told himself, he said, this is it. This is the answer. This is the answer for humanity. This is exactly the experience that everyone wants to attain, want to reach, but don't know how. So, this state of mind, later on, he called it nirvana, which is nothing more than inner peace. Your peace and quiet. That is just no unsettlement whatsoever. So if I use this prop, you can see clearly. So before the enlightenment of the Buddha, he was in the state of boom, boom, boom. He, his real self, was taken over by Jerry, and caused him to be like this, boom, 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 boom. But on that night of his enlightenment, he was, disconnect and go beyond Jerry. Disconnect and go beyond. This word, it may sound a bit weird and funny for you, but I intentionally translate from the Thai word that describe the inner feeling of disconnect and go beyond. So this is something that you all can anticipate, can expect when you go on your trail of meditation from now on. Okay, so I just let you know first. And because, okay, so it's important because all these things you cannot see in the mirror. You cannot see in the mirror your mind consciousness. That's why only the Buddha separate inside. Mind you, in English, you also separate, but you just don't know what's going on. So you call body, mind, and spirit. Can you say that? Body, mind, and spirit, or body, mind, and consciousness. Mind and consciousness, mind and spirit, they are two separate entities. They are two separate entities. They're not the same. Okay? But because they're in the etheric form, energetic form, and trapped inside, and in your body, so you just don't know what's going on. What you know, all you know is that, I'm stressed, I'm so worried, I'm so scared, this and that, all the time. You see? So that's why the Buddha, in fact, he laid down all these things for us, but we cannot understand with the Pali language. Translate into this and that language, or the monk chant all these things. In fact, talking about all these things, but we don't know. So this is my strongest point, is that trying to use all this language that even the Buddhists, they cannot understand. Okay, digest it and then deliver it in the language that you can understand. Okay, so anyway, on that night of the enlightenment, the Buddha experienced a state of mind that he disconnect and go beyond. It means that he was totally free from this bondage of Jerry, the carrier of all problems. The carrier of all problems. He was free. He was a free man spiritually. And he knew exactly that this is the answer for humankind. This is the answer of humankind. So this state of mind, okay, Nirodha, is the third noble truth. So the first noble truth is the noble truth of suffering. The third noble truth is the universal truth that is another experience that you can attain, you can have access to it if you know how. Okay, but just know that this is the universal truth of the end of suffering, called nirvana, that everyone can achieve, can attain, can get to it once you know the way. Okay, so this is universal, this state of mind, nirvana or peace of mind, which I like to connect with the word source form. I'm sure that you all know about this term now. Okay, we are in the time that in the spiritual community they'll talk about the ascension from the 3D to the 5D, and then connect to source, all these things, S-O-U-R-C-E, source. Okay, so I just try to make life easier for you. What the Buddha called nirvana, what the Christian people call, God believer people call God, the prime creator, whatever, or in the neutral term that you call source, they are all this terminology, all this label, they all connect or refer to the soul experience, which is this one, that this one, Jerry, play no role whatsoever. No role whatsoever. So this is the state of mind that you all know as the oneness. All is one is all these things, the law of one is all come down to this very experience, all the same. So I just connect for you first, just to make your life easier, that you know that we are talking about the same thing. Okay, so this is the third noble truth. And what made the Buddha, so upon experience this state of mind, the Buddha gave us a very short summary, which become the maxim, the truth. He said, no happiness is greater than inner peace. Is there anyone want to dispute that? No, if you have what? A billionaire can be better, it got to be better than inner peace. No happiness is greater than inner peace. Nirvana is the best kind of happiness. Okay? Hence, Nirvana is nothing more than your inner peace, which is the best kind of happiness. It's also straightforward. It's so plain and clear. His summary, you see? Very clear. This is the result of his ultimate enlightenment on that night, because he see this experience. Okay, so what happened now is that we are going to make these words, which act very much like a map, a life map, okay, to make it real today. To make it real, to make this experience that no happiness is greater than inner peace. So we're going to make this inner peace become your real experience that you encounter within. Okay? And so, yeah, look at this. Oh, gosh. I try to hold my energy. Once we meditate, my energy will be restored. So, pass on. Okay, so we are in position A right now. Position A is that you've got the stress, worry, anxiety, restlessness, loneliness, fear, anger, envy, losing control. This is the boom, boom, boom. The universal truth of suffering or mental pain. Okay, this is position A. And then on the night of the enlightenment, the Buddha found out position B, which is the experience that is in the total opposite from position A. Peace and quiet. Okay, you're in the peace that you call nirvana. That allow you to be in control. Totally in control of your mind. Okay. And what made the Buddha so special is that he didn't just tell us that, oh look, there is a Shangri-La here, you must go there because it's just so beautiful, you know, you must go, everyone must go at least once in your lifetime. And then he said, goodbye. Hang on, where's the Shangri-La? Can you see that? If someone tell you a place that is so glorious, so wonderful, and goodbye, find your own way, you can Google it. Okay, Google Shangri-La. You can still Google Shangri-La if you want. But can you Google Nirvana? Hey, Google Nirvana, please. No. That's why the Buddha is so special, because he helps us, give us the way. You know, he gives us the route, the direction, how to go from boom, 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 A to B. This is why it's so unique and and the way that he helps us to go from A to B is the fourth noble truth. The fourth noble truth that we call the Noble Eightfold Path, starting from right view. Whether you like it or not, if you listen to me attentively, okay, when you go home today, you will have the right view. You have the right view already. You don't have to go read any book now, okay? Once you have the right view, you have the right speech, the right this and that. Long P, you might know this, the Noble Eightfold Path more than me. What is it? Right view.
Right view, right intention.
Right concentration.
Right view, right
right action,
Intention,
right
thought,
speech, and
right
right
speech.
livelihood, and right. Got to the seven. The seven is the right concentration and right mindfulness, something like that, which is the meditation. Okay. So once you have this right view, we're going to. But in total, hang on. Let's see. Okay. But I'm going to make life easier. So this Noble Eightfold Path, this 8 items from right view, right this and that. If you want to regroup it, it means that you've got 3 groups. The first group is that knowing exactly the real purpose of your life. The real purpose of your life, that is wisdom. Right view is the wisdom. Knowing that life has a very definite purpose to fulfill. That is to get to this point, your inner peace. Okay? Life have a very definite purpose to fulfill. That is try to get your inwardly to this point. That is reach your inner peace or reach your God. Okay? Or reach the source or whatever. The same thing. Or reach the state of eternity, immortality, reach the state of oneness. Exactly the same. This book will tell you, okay? This book will be a gift from me for everyone today. I will send you the PDF file, okay? After today, I will send you the PDF file. So I got all this terminology about the ultimate purpose of life all in here, so that you can make connection easily. So this Noble Eightfold Path, firstly, is the wisdom, knowing that life has the definite purpose to fulfill. That is back to source, back to God or kingdom of God or nirvana or Tao is the same thing. Secondly, if you want to reach that nirvana, that ultimate goal of life, what you need to do, secondly, is to observe moral precept. It means that all the good deeds, do it. Anything that you feel that is not good, don't do it. Okay? Which is the very fundamental rule of every religion that teaches you. But being morally good, it can only take you halfway. Halfway to your inner peace. Where's my bottle? No, my prop bottle.
Just behind you there on the...
Oh, okay. Being a morally good person, it doesn't guarantee that you have your absolute inner peace. No. Because sometimes, especially women, we like to please our family. We like to please people, especially our spouse, you know. And especially being a mother is you're sandwiched in between your husband and your children. You know, your children tells you about daddy, your father will talk. They come to you, and then you are the one who got to be the mediator. You know, so if there's anything bad you don't want to tell your children, anything bad you don't want to tell your husband, so you're the one who got to really swallow the blade, patience, swallow, which is good, it's morally good. But you have any peace or not? No. A lot of women being a doormat, they, pleasing people all the time. Are they happy? No. But anyway, I just want to tell you that being morally good is not always the answer. Especially nowadays, you can be taken advantage of if you're too good, right? People take advantage of you because you're too good. Okay, so you just can't win. So how? So this Noble Eightfold Path, apart from observe your moral precept, you need to practice meditation or Vipassana. Vipassana, or the full foundation of mindfulness, is the very direct tool, a very direct tool that will take you from A to B Vipassana. I'd like everyone to repeat after me, please, because you will hear this word a lot. Vipassana.
Vipassana.
Yeah. So you know that Vipassana is the tool that can take you from this boom, boom, boom to this complete stillness. So what you need to do is Vipassana, which is the self-empowering tool that will change your life so completely, make you full. And this is the tool that I'm going to deliver you later on after we have a break. Okay? I need to rest my vocal. Okay, make yourself a cup of tea and toilet break. Okay, 15 minutes and then we come back. Right. I'm not going to talk to you anymore, okay? Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Right, help yourself with the drink and the okay.